At my wedding, uninvited guests crashed and yelled, "Stop the ceremony." Everyone froze. The officiant asked, "What's the meaning of this?" They announced, "The bride has another husband." My fiancé went pale. "That's a lie." Until they showed marriage certificate and photos. I said calmly, "Well, this wedding's over." The chaos. When police arrived was, I, 29 male, am sitting in what should have been my honeymoon suite. Except I'm alone with a bottle of whiskey and about $42K in wedding expenses down the drain. This happened 4 days ago and I'm still processing. My fiancé, 27, and I had been together for 3 years, engaged for 8 months. The wedding was everything she wanted. Garden venue, live band, premium open bar, the works. I make decent money in tech sales, so I could afford it without going broke. But it wasn't cheap. The ceremony started perfectly. She looked beautiful walking down the aisle. I was genuinely thinking about how lucky I was. We got through the vows without a hitch. Then came the part where the officiant said, "If anyone has reason why these two should not be joined in marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace." Usually, this is just ceremonial. Nobody actually says anything. A woman in the back stood up, mid-30s, professional looking, someone I'd never seen before. "I have something." The whole crowd gasped. My fiancé's face went pale. The woman walked down the aisle holding a manila envelope. She handed it directly to me. "Read this. You deserve to know before you make this legal." My fiancé grabbed my arm. "Don't! She's crazy! I don't even know her!" But the woman's expression was calm, not unhinged. I opened the envelope. Inside were printed screenshots of text messages, lots of them, between my fiancé and someone named D in her phone. The messages were explicit, intimate, planning meetups, discussing how to hide it from me, dates going back 6 months. There were also photos. My fiancé with a guy I didn't recognize. Kissing. At restaurants. In what looked like a hotel room. The last item was a handwritten note. "I'm his wife. He told me he ended it, but he didn't. Thought you should know before ruining your life like he ruined mine." I looked at my fiancé. "Care to explain?" Her face was bright red. Half the guests were standing now, trying to see what was happening. This isn't... I can explain." Me. "Don't bother." I turned to the officiant. "We're done here. No wedding today." My fiancé grabbed my hand. "Wait, please let me talk to you privately." Me. "No. Everyone here deserves to know why there's no wedding. My fiancé has been having an affair for 6 months. These are the receipts." I held up the papers. The crowd erupted in whispers. Her mother rushed up. "You can't do this. Everyone's here. The food, the band. You're humiliating her." Me. She humiliated herself. My fiancé was crying now, full breakdown. Her bridesmaids surrounded her. I walked out of the venue, got in the car I decorated with "Just Married" signs, and drove away. The woman who revealed everything, let's call her the wife, texted me later that day. Apologized for the dramatic timing, but said she'd only found out about the ongoing affair 2 days ago and tracked down our wedding info through the guy's email. Turns out my fiancé had been sleeping with her husband for 6 months. He'd promised to leave his wife, but never did. My fiancé kept pushing him, and the wife found recent messages confirming they were still together. Now I'm here, trying to figure out what to do about the $42K in expenses, the apartment we leased together, and the fact that half our mutual friends are blowing up my phone asking what happened. Update 1, posted 6 days later. The last week has been chaos. First, the financial damage. Started going through contracts to see what's refundable. Venue. non-refundable deposit of $8,500. The ceremony technically started, so they're keeping everything. Catering, $12,300. Food was prepped and partially served during the chaos. They're keeping it all. Photography, video, $4,200. They showed up and documented everything, including the blow-up. Photographer actually asked if I wanted the footage. I said yes, might need it. Band, $3,800, played for about an hour during the aftermath. Keeping the payment. Flowers, $2,100, non-refundable. Dress, tux, $3,600 for her dress, $900 for my tux. Both non-refundable since they were custom-fitted. Honeymoon, booked a week in the Caribbean, $6,200. Managed to get 60% back, $3,720, since I canceled within their window. Lost $2,480. Total damage, roughly $3,400 completely gone. Got back $3,720 from honeymoon, plus some small vendor refunds totaling maybe $1,800. Net loss, about $28K. My ex-fiancé's parents contributed exactly $0 to the wedding. They'd claimed financial hardship early in planning. Fine, whatever. But now her mother's been calling me daily, demanding I not destroy her daughter's reputation by spreading lies. Lies. The texts and photos are right there. Her mother. You embarrassed her in front of 150 people. How is she supposed to face anyone? Me. Not my problem. She made her choices. Her mother. You're ruining her life over a mistake. Me. A 6-month affair isn't a mistake. It's a choice she made repeatedly. Her mother. Well, you obviously weren't meeting her needs. She had to look elsewhere. Unreal. Blaming me for her daughter's cheating. My ex has been staying with her parents. She sent approximately 50 texts alternating between, I'm so sorry, I love you, it was a mistake, and, you humiliated me, how could you do that in front of everyone? I replied once, I didn't humiliate you. The truth did. We're done. Communicate through lawyers about the apartment lease. She lost it. Called me from her mother's phone after I blocked her. We can fix this. Couples therapy. I'll cut him off completely. Me. You should have cut him off before planning to marry me. You're being so cold. Don't you care about what we had? Me. I cared about what I thought we had. That was apparently fiction. I need you to tell people this was mutual, that we both decided to call it off. You owe me that. Me. I owe you nothing. Hung up. Blocked that number too. The apartment is the next issue. Joint lease, both our names, but I make 3x what she makes. I've been paying 70% of rent, $2,100 of $3,000, because that seemed fair based on income. My lawyer says I have options. 1, buy out her portion of the lease. She'd have to agree and sign off. 2, both break the lease and pay the penalty. 2 months rent, $6,000 split. 3, one of us moves out but keeps paying our share until lease ends. 8 months left. I sent her a formal offer through my lawyer. I'll pay her $2,500 to sign over the lease to me and vacate within 30 days. That's generous considering her share of furniture deposits. Her lawyer responded with a counter, $8,000 plus. I keep all shared furniture. Absolutely not. I bought 80% of the furniture. The only thing she bought were some decorative pillows and a lamp. My lawyer sent back $2,500. She gets her personal items plus the furniture she purchased. Final offer. Otherwise, we go to court, and I'll argue she should forfeit her share for breach of good faith, cheating while planning a wedding we both signed the lease for. Waiting on her response. Meanwhile, her affair partner's wife reached out again. She's divorcing him. Gave me more details about their affair. Apparently, my ex had been pressuring him to leave his wife, sending him apartment listings, talking about their future together. The guy was stringing her along, getting the benefits without commitment. The wife is going scorched earth on him, taking everything she can legally. I don't blame her. My family's been supportive. My mom wanted to confront my ex, but I told her to stay out of it. My brother took me out for drinks and told me I dodged a nuke, not just a bullet. Some mutual friends have picked sides. A few of her girlfriends posted vague Instagram stories about judging without knowing the full story and mistakes don't define people. I posted once, "For those asking, my fiancé was having a 6-month affair. I found out at the altar. That's why there was no wedding." That's all I'll say publicly. 3 of her friends unfollowed me. 12 people who'd been on the fence messaged support. My ex is apparently telling people that the wife who exposed her is unstable and made everything up, and I believed a stranger over her. The cognitive dissonance is wild. Update 2 posted 3 weeks later. Things got messy. My ex rejected the $2,500 buyout. Her lawyer came back demanding $12,000 plus all shared furniture, claiming emotional damages from the public humiliation. My lawyer laughed. Emotional damages aren't a thing in lease disputes. She's fishing. We filed to break the lease, split the penalty, and divide assets properly. Court date set for 6 weeks out. But my ex couldn't wait that long for money. She showed up at the apartment, still has keys, while I was at work, and took stuff. Not just her stuff, our stuff. Missing items: the 65, Samsung TV I bought, $400, PlayStation 5, $500, KitchenAid mixer, $380, Ninja blender, $150, the living room rug, $600, 3 pieces of artwork I'd purchased, $900 total, various kitchen items, probably $300 worth. I found out when I came home to a half-empty apartment. She'd left the furniture but took electronics and valuables, filed a police report immediately. The officer was unhelpful. "Officer, this is a domestic situation. You're both on the lease. Technically, she has rights to access the apartment." Me: "But this is my property. I have receipts." Officer: "Civil matter, small claims court." Great. So I added theft to the lawsuit. My ex's response through her lawyer: "She took items she had equal claim to as a cohabitating partner planning to marry. No theft occurred." My lawyer's response: "Receipts show sole ownership. We'll pursue criminal charges if items aren't returned." She didn't return anything. Then came the dirty tricks. Her mother called my boss. Actually called my workplace and asked to speak to my supervisor. Told him I was unstable and harassing her daughter and making threats. My boss, thankfully, knows me well, called me in, told me about the call, asked if everything was okay. I explained the situation, showed him the police report about the stolen items. He made a note in my file that this was a personal matter being handled legally, and told me if her family contacted the office again, it'd be harassment. But the damage was almost done. What if I'd had a different boss? What if this had affected my job? Then my ex's friends started a whisper campaign, telling mutual acquaintances that I'd been controlling and financially abusive, and she'd cheated because she felt trapped. Financial abuse, because I paid 70% of rent based on making more money. One former friend called me, "Bro, is it true you controlled all her money?" Me: "No, she has her own bank accounts. I paid more rent because I make more. That's it." Him: "She's saying you wouldn't let her buy things." Me: "She bought whatever she wanted with her own money. This is ridiculous." But some people believed it. The narrative was spreading. My response was calculated. I compiled evidence, bank statements showing separate accounts, Venmo history showing me paying her back for things she bought, texts discussing shared expenses where we agreed on the 70-30 split, screenshots of her texts with the affair partner, the non-explicit ones, showing she was clearly not trapped or afraid. She was actively pursuing another relationship. Sent this to close friends and family who'd asked. Told them, "This is the truth. I'm not posting it publicly because I'm not trying to destroy her. But I won't let lies stand." Most people who saw the evidence backed off the financial abuse narrative. The court date for the apartment came. My ex showed up with her parents and her lawyer. Judge reviewed everything. Lease agreement, my documentation of the 70-30 payment split, bank records, her taking items without permission, police report, both lawyers' arguments. His ruling. Lease broken, penalty split 50-50, $3,000 each. I keep the apartment exclusively for the remaining lease term if I want, or we both vacate. She must return the items taken or pay fair market value based on my receipts. If items aren't returned in 14 days, she owes $4,230 in reimbursement. She started crying in court. Her mother stood up and actually yelled at the judge, "This is unfair. She's the victim here." The judge, "Ma'am, sit down. Your daughter took property documented as belonging to the plaintiff. That's not victim behavior." Bailiff had to warn her mother about contempt. My ex's lawyer tried to argue the emotional distress angle again. Judge shut it down. This is a property and lease dispute. Emotional distress is not relevant. Outside the courthouse, her father approached me. First time I'd seen him since the wedding. Him, "You got what you wanted. Happy now?" Me, "I wanted a marriage. I got betrayed. This is just cleaning up the mess." Him, "She made a mistake. You're destroying her over it." Me, "She destroyed our relationship. I'm just protecting my assets." Her mother shouted from across the parking lot, "You're going to hell for this." I got in my car and left. The 14-day deadline came and went. No returned items. My lawyer filed for the $4,230 judgment. Got it approved. Now comes collecting it, which is its own nightmare. My lawyer warned me it could take months or years to actually get the money if she doesn't have it. But it's on her record. That matters. Update 3, final, posted 2 months later. It's been 2 months since the non-wedding. Here's where everything settled. The money. I got back maybe $500 total from various vendors. Lost about $28K overall on the wedding. That hurt. That's a decent used car. But it's done. The apartment. I kept it. She vacated. Changed the locks immediately. The place feels different now, but in a good way. I've been slowly replacing things, making it mine instead of ours. The stolen items. She never returned anything. The $4,230 judgment is on her record. I hired a collection agency to pursue it. They take 30% of whatever they recover, but I don't care. It's about principle. Last I heard, they're garnishing her wages. She makes about $2,400 a month. They can take 25% of disposable income. She's probably seeing $300, $400 month deductions until it's paid off. Good. The affair partner, his wife divorced him, took him to the cleaners according to what she told me. He lost his house, she got it in the settlement, has to pay substantial alimony, and apparently tried crawling back to my ex when his life fell apart. My ex, to her credit, told him to screw off. Not out of loyalty to anyone, but because she realized he was never going to leave his wife and she was done being the side piece. She posted something vague on social media about knowing your worth and not settling. The irony was palpable. Her parents tried one more tactic. Her father called me offering to pay the $4,230 if I'd just let this go and stop pursuing their daughter. Me. The collection agency is handling it. It's out of my hands. Him. We can settle this like adults. Me. Adults don't steal property and then cry victim. Him. You're vindictive. She dodged a bullet. Me. Yep, she sure did. She dodged having to pretend to be faithful for a whole marriage. He hung up. The social situation. Lost maybe 5 friends who took her side or just wanted to avoid drama. Kept the ones who mattered. Made some new ones through a rec sports league I joined. My family's been solid. My mom still occasionally asks if I'm doing okay, which is code for, "Are you sad about the breakup?" Honest answer, no. I'm angry about the wasted money and time, but not sad about losing her. I'm sad about losing who I thought she was, which isn't the same thing. Work is fine. Her mother never called again after my boss documented it as harassment. Dating. Not really. Went on a few apps, had some conversations, but my heart's not in it yet. Therapist says that's normal. I'm working on trust issues. Turns out having your fiancé cheat on you for 6 months while planning a wedding does a number on your ability to believe people. The wedding video. The photographers sent everything. I have footage of the exact moment the wife stood up, my face when I read the texts, my ex's breakdown. It's surreal to watch. I've shown it to exactly 3 people, my lawyer, my brother, and my therapist. Not posting it online, not using it for revenge, just documentation, evidence that I'm not crazy, this really happened. My ex's current situation, through the grapevine, living with her parents, working her same retail management job, getting her wages garnished. According to mutual acquaintances, she's telling people she learned and grew from the experience and is focusing on herself. No apology, no acknowledgement of the damage, no remorse for the affair or the theft or the false accusations. Just vague personal growth nonsense. That tells me everything I need to know. I made the right choice walking away. The wife who exposed everything. We don't talk regularly, but we touched base a few times. She's doing better. Finalized her divorce. Said she doesn't regret exposing the affair even though the timing was dramatic. "Better you found out at the altar than after signing the papers," she said. She's right. Financial recovery. I'm rebuilding. The $28K loss stings, but I'm not broke. My savings took a hit, but I'm young enough to recover. Already put away $3K since the non-wedding. Goal is to have it all back within 2 years. The emotional recovery, slower. Some days I'm fine. Some days I'm angry about the time wasted, the lies, the betrayal. Therapy helps. Having friends who validate that I wasn't crazy helps more. What I learned, trust your gut. If something feels off, investigate. Don't ignore red flags because you're invested in a relationship. And for the love of God, check the refund policies before booking wedding vendors. Also learned, some people will never take accountability. My ex will probably tell her version of this story forever, where she's the victim of my cruelty for not forgiving a mistake. That's fine. The people who matter know the truth. Last interaction with my ex. 3 weeks ago, she texted from a new number. I'd blocked the old one. "I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life." I replied, "I hope you find peace and a better understanding of consequences." Then blocked that number too. I'm not happy she's struggling, but I'm not responsible for it either. She made choices. I made mine. We're both living with the results. The apartment lease ends in 6 months. I'm already looking at new places. Fresh start, no memories of her. Maybe a 1-bedroom downtown, something that's mine from day one. To everyone who supported me through this, thank you. To those who said I was too harsh for walking away at the altar. She was cheating for 6 months while we planned our wedding. What exactly should I have done? Married her anyway. This chapter is closed. Time to write the next one. Alone for now. And that's okay.